Hello and welcome to Flory Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 8th of April 2022. After a really good week, actually. Been really busy. We've done loads of work. We've pushed on massively, as you can probably see with these two. And happy to report they are complete. At last, finally got there. It seems to be quite a long trip, obviously, with the Hornet. And I'm not going to bore you to death because obviously speak about it through the videos. But it has been a bit of a challenge, shall we say, that kit from start to finish. Let's face it, it's just... yeah, it's tested my patience as a modeler, shall we say, and I think I can understand why a lot of you have binned it off. But actually, as you can probably see, once it is together, it does look very impressive. So that one's come along really well. We'll speak about that one more in a minute. And obviously the big news is the Hurricane is completely finished as well, and talk about night and day between both kits. You know, this is technically a brand new toolkit, 2 or 3 years old tops. This one is probably a 15-year plus kit. This dream to go together, it was just absolutely fantastic. Early trumpeter, I know, but it's still a really nice kit, and you've got everything you could need to basically make a 24 scale Hurricane. This little guy, it just fought you all the way with just tooling errors right the way through it. There's actually 4 errors with the kit, but at least the instructions do point out that it is wrong. But still, challenging kit all the way. This thing just fell together, so you couldn't get 2 different kits to work on right the way through it. And amazingly, they're both 12-parters as well. And I know some of the videos tend to go on a little bit longer than half an hour. They may be like 45 minutes to 50 minutes. But to get them both that actually at 12 parts, with the amount of work that went into that one, and this one was a dream, does seem a little bit confusing to me. But anyway, they are both done. The light is definitely at the end of the tunnel because we have made it through. And to be honest, it was well worth it. I know obviously I had my little bit of a health scare a couple of months back and all the rest of it. And it was one of those ones where you're sort of coming down here each day and fighting with that one. But luckily I had a nice kit to work on as well. So when that one was testing my patience a little bit, you could just take it over to the other side of the bench and we could concentrate on this one. So it was actually really nice having the nightmare situation and literally a dream situation. So no problems at all. But anyway, they are both done. So anyway, it all started on... here we go, on Monday. So we got part 11, so it's the penultimate part of the Hornet going up. And again, as you can see, I'm pointing it out here, we have had to make some minor modifications, shall we say, to the undercarriage system because it completely collapsed on me and went through. But generally, we're working through the weathering, so we were using mottling techniques with oils to go through, and obviously we were using a bit of oils to sort of liven up the actual gear. And then obviously you can see it's sort of quite plain, and then we started to go in mottling around with the oils underneath. And they say at this point it was all going so well, and I'm thinking, oh, this is great. And then yeah, the undercarriage gave out on one leg, so literally came down and it had collapsed onto the actual the pod here on the side, and then lo and behold the other side went as well. So it's a case of, right, what we're going to do with it. So we ended up literally thinking, I think we're going to have to go old school. It's a technique I've used in the past, so we just use a little bit of acrylic down here because of the nature it's a little bit complicated between the gear and all the bits and pieces. I couldn't get it any further forward to be hidden by the gear, but it was just the ideal place. And to be honest, unless you go around hunting looking for it on the actual said kit, it's very difficult to spot it when it is in the down position. But anyway, with it in there, as you can see, the fuel tank butts up to it and everything else. We got the gear all realigned and all sorted, and we were ready to go. Then we could make our way on with the rest of it. So we were doing the canopy work, getting that all ready for the sort of final bits on this one and getting it all together. Again, it was one of those where you just think, do you know what, it's actually looking really good, this model, and then you come down and you're like, Jesus, it's given way. But as I say, she is done, and really, unless you go hunting for it, it's very difficult to see that acrylic pole in there. But what it does give you the job is when I put it down now, it gives you the confidence, because what I've done is the gear is actually sort of weighted on wheels with it. So we've made it just the right length. So it takes the weight and then the gear just comes up a little bit with it and then it holds it. So you've got best of both worlds with that one. But say, unless you literally go around hunting for it or looking in from the back forward, it's very difficult to see. So again, it's one of those sort of techniques, old school one. I use it a lot with resin because white metal and resin, you know, the weight of resin with white metal gear, it's always going to collapse. Even if it doesn't do it for a few years, it will do it at some point. So I tend to use that little technique with it. And on something like this, you need something with a footprint. So I've used literally 10mm acrylic rod. So the acrylic rod's got a footprint, so it's not just pushing off to one wheel or onto the other, it sits on that first, and the gear act like stabilizers just to hold it into position. But what it does mean now, you can knock it with confidence without thinking it's just going to shear everything off underneath on that one. So anyway, that was down in there. Tuesday was a little bit all over the place. As you know, the merchandise all went live for the members at the moment, so it's only available to the membership. So all of those, so you've got your t-shirts, your polo shirts, we've got the aprons out there as well, we've got the mouse mats, and then coming down the line over the next few weeks we've got some other goodies as well coming your way. So obviously the deals and the offers are all up and available for all of those on the links down below in there. Then we had in the evening, we had our auction. So I know some of you got some absolute bargains, much to Matt's distress, but it's a good job because it swings and roundabouts. Sometimes we make a little bit of money on things and other times we lose. So hopefully you all got a little bit of a bargain on there, and we had a few giggles during the evening as always. So that was actually on Tuesday. So busy day Tuesday. Wednesday was the PM show. So obviously we've got the new stock that's arrived into the PM store. We were talking about the reviews, which obviously will go up to the non-members today. We'll talk about that at the end of the show, but that one as well. So we was going through all in there. And then last night we had the live show, so usual fun and laughter and games. Andy was a little bit under the weather last night, so we gave him the night off. So it was just the four of us obviously answering your questions. And the topic was teen fighters. So we were talking everything about the old history of why they're called, like, you know, the numbers they are from, like F14, 15, 16, 18, so forth and so on as well. And obviously answering all your questions as normal as we do on that one. And that brings us bang up to today, where we have completed off the Hurricane build is done. So 12-parter right the way through, and I say we had a lot of fun with this one, going through all of it, and I have to say it is a very, very nice kit. So, you know, you can see the work we did down in here in the cockpit to liven it up. Again, you can't see much when it's actually in there, but you get the idea. It's really nice system, the way that it all clicks all together and everything else like that. So we've made our way over the last few weeks right the way through the build. And it brings us up to basically, where's today, into here. So again, it was all adding the little bits. We've got a little bit of white tack just holding the canopy on, but technically I'm going to close it to stop the dust getting in there. And then obviously it can be tacked open. So small parts going in, we fitted the lights, we finished off any last bits of weathering. And then we used a little bit of piping work and a little bit of scratch building, a bit of plastic card here and there for doing some plumbing work in the engine. Again, it's never going to win any awards. It's just for effect of having it in there. But as you can say, we added a few little details down to this one, a few boxes, and again wiring and plumbing, and go through and added obviously aerials and obviously pitos and things like that down into it, which really finished off our build. Didn't want to go massively over the weathering. Again, I've got this nice technique, and as I say, it's one of those ones, it's very difficult to show it on camera, but even as I'm looking at it here in front of me, I can see what I'm on about. But what I'm trying to point out is that if you use the clay wash right the way over it, and the grime, for some reason, and I don't know the chemical reasons to it, but the oils, when you put a filter on and you're using oils over the model, it clings to the wash, and the wash absorbs the enamels. The clay actually absorbs it, and it gives you this very nice, so you can actually see in here, you get like a glossy type look in the middles of panels and things, and it looks like it's a clever, you know, something you've done, but actually it's not. It's all natural, so it's acting just like the real thing. And as always, if you look across the model, you know, it looks dead flat, and then obviously you catch it in the light and it's like glossy as well, so it's got that really nice sort of luster right the way through to it. But anyway, was happy with it. I didn't want to go overboard with all the weathering, so it's quite muted right the way over, but she is done and she is finished. So part 12 is up there right away, and you can go off and see it. And again, considering the early days of seeing it like this, it seems to have actually come a long way. And again, if you want to see the little video of it, we've got a little video of it going around underneath here, as you can see, to get a better idea, and then hopefully you can catch it in those lights and you can see the reflections on it and things like that. So again, really, really nice kit. Very, very underestimated. I know a lot of people are scared of 24th scale, but obviously, as in, you know, World War II fighters and that, they don't take up a lot of room. I can only really vouch for the Hurricane because it's the only 24th scale trumpeter kit I've built, but if all the others are like it, I think they are basically an unknown gem, because again, the gear is really nice and strong. It's a good solid model all the way through, and you've got all the basics as well. So you've got an engine in there, you've got a cockpit, and then you can just add a little bit of wiring, a little bit of bits and pieces to it, and you can end up with something looking really very, very nice at the end of it. And again, it won't break the bank. That's the great thing about these kits as well. We're not talking in the hundreds for this. You're basically talking sort of 65, 70 quid, and you can get this kit and pick it up, and you can actually chuck it together. And it is very, very nice. So thank you to Matt for putting me onto this one, because I never knew how nice a kit actually was. So as you can see, really, really nice. You've got all the different details, all the photos. Again, you can click on them to get high-res versions of it all. So if you are a non-member, you can see everything that we've been getting up to just down on there. Lastly up this week is the reviews. These are now going to be available for non-members to see, because obviously the members have had them all week. So first up, we've got the Revel 72nd scale F15E Strike Eagle. Again, I can't work out if I'm actually like this kit or I don't. It's very modular. It's got great detail, and the only thing I love about this kit is the markings, because they look fantastic, but also the surface detail. If this is now how Revel are doing it, and it looks like that these are all done in Poland these days, it could be something very nice happening. No longer have we got that soft plastic with big sink marks and all the rest of it. This is good, sharp details. And you can see for 72nd, and for the money difference you're talking between this and the Great Wall Hobbies version, it's really, really nice indeed. It's got all the details you could want. Full length intakes, which are nice, because again, these cover up all the ejector pin marks and stuff. And again, these good solid tab areas. So hopefully you won't have problems joining the front half to the rear half and things like that, because of these nice big tabs that it's got right the way over it to make it a good solid build. But you can see the surface detail on these kits is absolutely gorgeous. The cockpit's really nice as well. So again, it was funny, because I thought you could probably do a C from this, but you can't. So it looks like it's going to have some changes to the fuselage and that to be able to do the C version if you wanted to. So it looks like it's just the two-seater E variants. So I don't know, you could probably do the Israeli version and things like that with it as well. So that's the first one that was up there just there. The other one, which is the beautiful one, is the Junkers 35th scale. So don't forget, it's not 32nd, it's 35th border models kit down in here. And this is great. It's got a fully detailed engine. It's absolutely beautiful. And you've got all the details running through. The cockpit areas are really nicely done, and it has been pointed out to me, we mentioned that there's no actual harnesses in this kit. There is. I wouldn't call them harnesses at all. It's just two strips of photo etch, but you do get a bit in there. But I don't think you get the lap belt for the gunner either. So there's a few things missing from this kit, but generally it's really nice. What I love about it though is this surface detail. I know a lot has been said about border models with the Wingnut Wings Lancaster and everything, and I know a lot of people who are quite disappointed with that particular kit. But I have to say, this is amazing. The surface detail, the riveting that is raised, and the recessed details around it. Why Border Model felt the need to go off and get the Wingnut Wings Lancaster when they can produce kits of this quality that are on par with them, yeah, it just seems a little bit odd. So really, really nice kit. This is one of those kits I can see myself doing. I know Matt has got my review sample that he's planning on doing something with, I should imagine, because it is really very, very nice. It's a fantastic kit. So if you ever thought about doing a Stuka and you're thinking about a little diorama especially, don't forget this is 1/35th scale, not 1/32nd, so it'll fit perfectly with your other stuff. And like we were saying, harnesses and things like that, you could probably get away with 1/32nd. I don't think anyone's going to notice in the scale of things. So very, very nice detail. That surface detail is absolutely beautiful, but again, the engine looks great and all the small parts are actually sublime as well. And there we are, and these little belts here apparently are the harnesses. So it's like, yeah, I just think they're a little bit small. But yeah, the only thing is you are going to need a mast set. And I don't think anyone does one at the moment, but they should do, because you're going to need it. So very, very nice indeed. Bonus one with this figure, you get the figure. We're not sure if you do get the figure with subsequent releases of this kit. Sometimes border models do this thing with the first releases of it. They come with something a little bit extra, but this isn't mentioned on the box or anything else whatsoever. So we think it is just the first batch of them that come with the actual figure in there as well. So again, beautiful kit, really, really nice. You can go off and see that one. And that was this week. Again, as I say, really, really busy, I must admit. It's one of those ones, it was really nice to get both of these done, but now I'm going to spend all weekend editing it all together. I've just finished, literally just before I've doing the show here, we've got the Hurricane finish, so that one is up for you to watch now. But obviously I've got to start doing all the editing and the final photos and all the bits and pieces over here for the Hornet as well. So hopefully we'll be getting that one done very, very soon. But it will be up with you on Monday anyway, and it will complete that. And what that means is Sunday I'm going to spend all day in here gutting this place, because the spray booth needs emptying because it's just a mess. Because after doing these two, the dust around here and everything, it needs a deep clean and basically get it all clear so we can start with our next build, which is actually the Great Wall Hobbies 48 scale F15E Strike Eagle. And again, that looks to be a beautiful kit. When I first reviewed it a few years ago, I was like, we're going to do that one. So finally we've got round to doing it. So get this big stuff out of the way. Hopefully this will fit in the cabinet. Fingers crossed, it should do. I've measured it twice and it does seem to fit. It's just that I don't know, we'll see. And the Hurricane, I think we're going to try and get as a wall hanger, because it will look lovely hanging on the wall as well. So hopefully we'll get a bracket up for that one and get it nice and safely out the way up there. A couple of things to mention. One, these guys are back in stock. Finally, after what has been like 6 months of waiting for them to turn up, they came in this week as well. So this is the White Weathering Sander Polisher, which is our number 13 for these. As I said, I know we've been out of stock for a long time, and we had something like 72 of you on a wait list for them. Emails have gone out, so you can go off and buy those. Those are in the store now. Again, we got thousands of them, so don't panic about it. They are up on the store right now. So good job. As well as obviously for people in Australia and New Zealand, which has obviously always been a bugbear of trying to get stuff out to you, you can order now through the Flory Models site as well. So you can go through PM Models, you go through Hannants and other companies as well. But if you do want to come direct, so I know a lot of you do, you can come direct now to us here. We're hoping to have the EU situation sorted by next week as well. So this will be with us and PM Models, so we'll be able to ship to the EU as well, kits and sundries and bits and pieces and all along like that. We finally managed to sort it out with the tax man, well, the VAT man it should be, for how we're going to do it for doing all of those types of things. So that's all good. But if you do want those sandals, I know I get asked for them all the time. They are back in stock. They're up on the site right now. Lastly, obviously up here we've got some of the special deals that are available from the PM Models as well. Matt's updated this morning, so as you can see we've got some great kits along down in here. That Chieftain kit, I've built it. There's a build up there. There's mine actually down there. So it is an absolutely stunning kit, really nice. Obviously you've got the Great Wall Hobbies F14. It's a lot of money, but it is a absolute beautiful kit, and we've got the special ones down in here as well. So obviously we've got the Felix version down in here, and we've got the Black Aces and the B and all the rest of it on there. There's a Wolfpack one that John was talking about on the live show last night as well as all of these other ones. So say the Hasegawa, I've built that one as well actually, funnily enough, seems to be a pattern here, but as you see we've got the Hasegawa 72nd scale Lightning. That's a gorgeous kit. And I'll say the Dauntless, that's a beautiful kit as well, and all the other ones. So if you want to grab yourself a little bit of a bargain, they are down in here right now over on the PM store. And I know they've had a big restock this week of paint and sundries and tools and various things like that as well. So that is all along with you right now. And that is it for this week. All it leaves me to do is to leave you with the gallery. So until Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted.